types. Okay, so I created two different programs for sorted internal table and a hash internal table. I'll just walk you through that program now. Okay, I'll walk you through the program now, and for you to understand how the sorted internal table can be defined and can be used with respect to the data. I mean, inserting the data into it. Okay, so just have a look at it. So this is the program name. So ZABAP batch 1 sorted itab 2 is a program name. Okay, so there is also one more example created for you. Okay, so if you observe here, I declared a local structure for the internal table. So this is the local structure declaration. Previously, we have seen something related to data statements. Okay, so now in most of the time in the real-time environment, we also create the structures using the keyword called types. Just try to understand. Previously, we used the data, then begin of the structure name, field name, type data type, field name, type data type, field name, type data type, end of the structure name. Okay, so this remains as it is. There is no change. The only one change you see here is types. In place of data keyword, I used types. In place of data keyword, I used types. So what does that it makes difference? Okay, what does that make difference? Let us try to see that. So I declared it as a types, and now in the naming convention I followed it as ty_tab. So ty stands for types. Generally, WA stands for work area. IT stands for internal table. So likewise, it's up to the standard way of writing the code. So I said types. The structure name is ty_tab. Okay, now just observe here in this declaration. Now I'm declaring the sorted internal table with non-unique, with unique key, with unique key. If you observe here, I'm declaring the sorted internal table with unique key. So what is the unique key here? You see here, I said data. itab stands for my internal table. Type sorted table of. In the previous examples, we have seen standard table of, or it's a normal internal table. Now I'm saying it as a sorted table of. So sorted table of, what is the structure name? Structure is ty_tab. So sorted table of ty_tab with unique key item. Item is what? This is the item. So it means I'm saying in this structure, there is a field called item. That item should be always maintained as unique. Unique means no duplicates. It should not allow any duplicate values. That's it. Very simple. So this is how I declare the internal table. Next, coming to the work area, I said W_tab type ty_tab. Okay. So if you observe here in this case, we already discussed about two important things in previous class. One is explicit work area and the other one is implicit work area. It means we have declared the internal table with header line, if you remember. So header line means, what do you mean by header line? Internal table name and work area name are same. Okay. And here, internal table name and work area name are different. It means we are declaring it as explicit work area. What do you mean by explicit here? If you see here, my internal table name is itab and my work area name is W_tab. So internal table name and work area name both are different. So if I say this internal table, this can hold multiple records. And if I talk about this work area, this work area will hold only one record. So the type is again same. What is the type here? ty_tab. You see what is the type here? ty_tab, item, quantity, and price are available in ty_tab. Similarly, if you observe internal table itab, also referring to ty_tab, means it has item, quantity, and price. So three fields will be available in itab. Also, the three fields will be available in W_tab, which is work area. Okay, so it means your work area has 3 fields, your internal table also has 3 fields, but internal table will have multiple records. Okay, so now that is what usefulness of types. So types is always useful for declaring your work areas, explicitly declaring. So here I am writing a simple comment. This is like a explicit work area. This is what explicit work area. Why we are calling it as explicit work area? Because internal table name and work area name are different. Internal table name and work area name are different. So that is the reason why we are calling it as the explicit work area. Okay, now what next? I am using my work area and I am using the fields, assigning the value. Item, I am saying it as rice. Quantity, I am saying it as 2. And price, I am saying it as 80. So once this is done, once I assign the values to the work area, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to insert this work area into table item. Just observe here. What is the syntax? Insert work area into table my internal table name. So the first record will get inserted into the internal table. Similarly, I go for a second record. I say this item is sugar, quantity is 1 and price is 90. I say insert work area into table, internal table. Now second record will get inserted into the internal table. And similarly, I'm taking the third item, which is again tea. Quantity is 1, price is some 100. Insert work area into table, internal table. So this record gets inserted into the internal table. And the fourth record, I'm taking it as rice. Item is rice. Quantity is 3. Price. Again, I'm inserting that into the internal table. Item is Horlicks, inserting into the internal table. Next item is one more item is sugar and inserting into the internal table. Okay. So you will see how many records are there. This is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total, how many records are there? How many records we are inserting? How many records we are inserting? 6 records. We are inserting 6 records. Okay, so we are inserting 6 records. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just to try to see, and okay, 6 records we are inserting, and we are trying to print that in the output. We are trying to print that records in the output. If you observe here, I am saying write statement /3. 3 means the position. It means from the left side. From the left side, at the third position, I should print item. After item is printed, again 13. It means it will count the number of positions 13. After from 13th position, it will print a quantity. From 28th position, it will print the price. Okay. So once this is done, this is like a heading, and then we will loop on the internal table and we will print the data from the internal table. Okay. So let us try to see what the output looks like. Just observe here. How many records are there now here in the output? 1, 2, 3, 4. You see only 4 records in the output. But we inserted how many records? 6 records. Okay. We inserted 6 records, but we are seeing only 5 records in the output. Why? The reason is, if you observe here, what is that key item here? The key item, we maintained it as item. Item is the unique key. So what is the item here? Rice. And see if there is anywhere rice. Yes, there is one more item called rice. And also see there is a sugar and there is also a sugar. It means rice repeated and sugar repeated. It means we have duplicate records with item rice. Also, we have duplicate record with item sugar. So these are the 2 duplicate records. So even though when you insert, that insert will fail because you made this item field as unique. Item field as unique. Unique means no duplicates or non-duplicates. So that is the reason why you are seeing only 4 records in the output, and you don't see the other 2 records in the output. Other 2 records are other 2 records. The one of the item of that other 2 records are rice, and the other item of the record is what? Its item is sugar. So you see only sugar once and rice for one time. You don't see any records with sugar. You don't see 2 records with sugar, and you don't see 2 records with rice. So that is the meaning of unique key with the unique key. So this is an example for you. Just make a note of this, and you can practice with respect to the similar example or a different example as per your convenience. Okay. So this is about sorted internal table, and also there is one more created. I'll just walk you through that also. So this is also a simple one created. So here I have taken example of only the data statements. There is no types. Okay, so you can see here, if you see this, I have taken student ID, student name, age, class, and mobile number, and I said work area, and I said internal table, and you see the unique key field given it as what? STD ID and STD name. 2 are given as unique fields. Okay, 2 are given as unique fields in this example. So you can see here student ID, student name, age, class, and a mobile. You are appending to the internal table. And the next thing is student ID, name, age, class, and mobile number. You are appending to the internal table. And if you observe here, there is one more field, student ID, name, age, class, mobile. Okay. And there is one more record 003, name, age, class, and mobile. Now let us see how this looks like when you execute the program. Okay, so you can see here 1, 2, the second record. You see your unique ID, you maintained it as ID and ID, both are same. But if you observe here, the names are different. That is the reason why it is not considering it as unique. When you said unique for two fields, you need to maintain the same values for the respective field. Then only it will consider it as a unique. If not, it will not consider it as a unit. That is the reason why it is not considering it as a duplicate record. But however, if you can see that record in the output, you are seeing the you are seeing all the 4 records over here, and also you try to insert a new record into it. Okay, you can see here inserting new student Rajesh ID 004. You try to insert, and you are printing that in the output. You try to insert new record with the ID 002. So this is the student ID 002. Okay, and it also got inserted. You're trying to update the record 001 with respect to age and class. Okay, so the record got updated, and if you want to delete the record, you can also delete the record, and you will be able to see the final list of available records into the internal table. So the deleting, inserting, updating, or modifying, all these things are with respect to the examples which we have covered in the last session. The only one thing what you need to identify here is, or what you need to learn over here is the mentioning with the unique key and maintaining the respective values. Okay, the rest of the things like assigning the values to the respective fields, appending to the internal table, and printing them in the output, and inserting the record with respect to the values as per the values in the work area. So all these things will remain same. You will not find any big difference except the structure and the field names which we have taken it as different. That's it. Okay, so this is one more example, right? This is also an example on the sorted internal table. Guys, also I suggest you to try to download the program as and when you complete your practice or whatever it is. The reason is, this is the demo server or training server. the server may not be always available. Sometimes in place of the server, they may immediately give us a new server saying that the server is not working. You can start using the other server. So in such case, you will lose all your contents. So I advise you to download the programs always. The best way to download the program is you just copy your program name. You go to utilities. Okay, copy your program name, go to utilities. You will have more utilities option over here, and you see upload or download, and you click on download. Just click on download. When you click on download, it will ask you for the path. It will ask you for the path. So provide that path, and your program gets downloaded into the respective path. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you need to go. You just copy it. Go to utilities, more utilities, download. You need to click on the download. Click on the download and provide the path. Okay, so while downloading, when you give the file, it will ask you for the file name. Try to give this program name .txt. Your file name, you give it as program name .txt. So it will be saving in the .txt file. Okay, fine. So that's about downloading the program. Right. So next, going to the next one, we also have seen this sorted internal table also. Let's also look into that. So the same example I have taken, the very first example which I have taken over here, I have taken the same example. Okay, so if you see this, I have taken this structure name as item, quantity, and price. And now what I did here in the declaration, I said the type sorted table of with the unique item, with unique key is item. So item I have taken it as a unique. Okay, so I have inserted the rice, inserted the sugar, inserted tea, inserted again rice, inserted again Horlicks, inserted again sugar, and printing them in the output. So let us see how many records in total we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 6 records we have. Let us see how many gets printed in the output. You see, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 records because we are considering the item as unique. It means it will not allow duplicate values. And if you observe here, the first item is rice, second is sugar, third is tea, fourth you can ignore this, fifth is Horlicks, sugar you can ignore it. It means you can see here rice, sugar, tea, and Horlicks. These are the items generally gets printed in the output. But if you observe the sequence, we inserted it like this. We inserted the rice first, sugar second, third is the tea, and the fourth is Horlicks. Observe here, if you see the output, you can see Horlicks, rice, sugar, and tea. There is a sort applied on this item. By default, if you see there is a sort applied upon this item. So when you say it means what happened? Because this is a sorted internal table. Because this is a sorted internal table, on which key is it sort being applied? The sort is being applied upon the value in the item. So what is the value in the item? Rice is one value, sugar, tea, and Horlicks. If you observe here, R, S, T, and Horlicks will come in the beginning. So Horlicks will come first. Next comes rice. Next comes sugar. Next comes tea. So automatically it gets sorted. You can see here Horlicks, rice, sugar, tea. So this item value has updated. I mean to say like the sorted by default because we used the keyword as a sorted table. Okay, so this is one of the best example for the sorted internal table. So this is the program name. Just have a look at this program. As I told you already again, if you want to download this, go to utilities, more utilities, upload or download. Even if you want to upload the program also, you can upload it. You have a program on your desktop. Let us suppose you want to upload it. Yes, you can do that as well. Okay, you can navigate to that path, and if you click on upload, the program gets uploaded into the your ABAP editor. That is also possible. Okay, you can try both ways. Okay, so that's about sorted internal table. Fine. So now we will look into, see, always in our examples we are we are declaring the work area, and we are assigning the values, and again we are and again what we are doing, we are trying to append or insert into the internal table. We are again assigning the values, trying to insert into the internal table, and finally we are printing the data in the output. That is what we are doing it from, we are doing it so far. Okay, now from today what we will do, we will focus on getting the data from the database tables. Okay, we'll try to get the data from the database tables, and we start working or start dealing, interacting with the database tables. So this concept is very important, because so far you are only appending the data into the internal table manually, but now hereafter you will start working, or you will start declaring the internal tables, and you will start fetching the data from the database tables. You will start fetching the data from the database tables. Okay, so I will tell you an example. I'll tell you a very best example. How do you do that? Okay, I will tell you an example for fetching the data from the database tables. So now, so we will have a look at it as well. So for that, I have prepared a slide for you. Okay, let's look into that. So generally, so we will look into the select queries in ABAP. So when we say select queries, most of you guys are from the engineering background or the computer science background. You should have knowledge on what a select query does. So basically, what happens, if you want to interact with the database tables, then you will be using the select query in order to fetch the data from the database tables. So what we are going to learn, we are going to learn select queries in our class today, and along with that we will learn the types, different types of select queries are there. One is select single. Select single. It means when you say select single, you will have a single record fetched from the database table. You can fetch only a single record from the database table. Next, select star. When you say select star, you will be fetching all the fields. When you say star, when you say this addition star, it means if a database table has 10 fields, you mean to say you are fetching all the 10 fields. If the database table has 150 fields, you mean to say fetch 150 fields in that select statement. Next, we'll learn even about the joins. It means if we have two different tables, and how do we join the two different tables of data? I mean, how do we join the common data? Okay, how do we join the common data? And when we are joining the data, when we are joining the database tables, there will be some kind of complexity. It means when the number of joins increasing, it means, for example, I have one employee table, I have an employee salary table, I have one more table called employee designation table, employee table, employee salary table, employee designation table. From one table, from employee table, I will take the employee ID. For that ID, what is the salary? For that employee ID, what is the designation? So if I combine these three tables, then only I will be able to get the complete employee information. Let us suppose. It means in this example, we are covering three tables. We are joining the three tables. Likewise, there is a chance that the number of joins can increase. There can be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tables also. There can be. It means data is spread across all the tables. You don't see data of a particular person in only one table. That is available in multiple tables. When the data is widely spread across multiple tables, how do you gather all the common data of that particular employee or a person? How do you do that? We do this with the help of joins. But if the tables are increasing, if the number of joins are increasing, that will be the complexity is also going to increase. So in order to avoid that complexity, in ABAP, we have a concept called for all entries. Using that for all entries concept, you can overcome the complexity of joins. So we learn even for all entries, which is a alternate to the joins as well. So these things we learn. Okay. So how do we fetch the data from the database tables? So generally, we use a select statement to fetch the data from the database tables. So what is the syntax? I say select. If you're selecting a single record, then I'll say select single. And if you want to specify the column names, you mention the column name. Select single, you can mention the column names from your database table into your target variable. The target variable can be a structure or it can be like a internal table. Okay, into that target variable. So in this case, this is a single record. So always here it will be like a single record only. It means you will be inserting it, you will be selecting the data from the database table and putting that into the work area. And also you can apply the condition, where condition. It means for which records, what is the condition or what is the criteria that you need to fetch a single record from the database table and put that into your target variable. What is the condition? Do you have any condition for that? Yes. For example, select single, okay, from EMP, let us suppose, from EMP into work area underscore EMP, where employee underscore ADDR equal to HYD. It means the employee whose address belongs to Hyderabad, I want that record of that employee. Simple. If multiple employees belongs to the Hyderabad with Hyderabad address, then what happens? It will pick only the very first employee. The very first employee address only it will pick, and it will show it in the. It will be putting that into the target variable. That's it. Okay, we'll see an example with that also. I'll tell you all those things. Okay, this is the syntax generally we follow for the select single. Similarly, if you have multiple, if you want to fetch multiple records, then you will say select your columns. It can be, you can say select columns or you can say select a star also. It's up to you. When you say columns, column A, column B, column C, column D. What specific columns you want, you will mention only those columns. And if you want all the columns, you will say select star. So now select that columns from your database table. You will have your database table. Database table is your source table, and into your internal table is the target internal table. Target, it means source is your database table where data is available, and target is the internal table to which your data has to go from the source table. And you can also apply condition called where. If you want to apply a condition, you can apply a condition. If you don't want, you cannot, not required. But most of the time, the best practice is we will apply where condition, because in the production environment, there will be huge number of records available for that respective select statement. So we will see always the performance is very important when you are fetching the data. It should not take too long to fetch the data. That is the reason why we will filter the data as much as possible. Filtering is nothing but applying the where condition and mentioning the fields with respect to the required conditions in the where condition. Okay, so this is about the select statements, select single and select multiple records. And first of all, we'll take an example of that. First, I'll take you through the example of that. How do we fetch the data from the? How do we fetch the data from the table? We'll go through that, and then we'll come to the joins later. We'll come to the joins concept later. So there is also a program already designed. Okay, so this is fetch database. It's a fetch data from the database tables. Okay, so if you observe here, so listen, this is very important. Where can we see the database tables? Where can we see the database tables? Fine. So we have a transaction code. See, I am in ABAP editor. I want to go to a new transaction. I want to keep this session, we call it as a session, as it is. And I want to go to a new, other session, keeping this as it is. So for that, what I will do in the comment box, I will say /o. The transaction code is SC11, which is the data dictionary transaction code. SC11. So go to the data dictionary transaction code. In data dictionary transaction code, you see these are all the options like database table, view, data type, type group, domain, search help, lock object. These things will come in detail when we start the actual topic of data dictionary. But now, for time being, just select the database table. We have a table called Mara. Mara is the material master table. Okay. So you can see this in module, material management module. You will see this Mara table generally. Okay. So click on display. If you click on display, every table has its own structure. Like it has Mara is a table. You can see here transparent table. In data dictionary also we have different types of tables like a transparent table, pooled table, and cluster table. We will see those details later. But now just have an understanding of what is this Mara table. It is a general material data. It means like material master data. All the master records will be available over here corresponding to the materials. And these are all the fields you can see here. Field like the way how you are declaring in your program. In the structure you are declaring the fields like, for example, field name, type, data type, field name, type, data type. You're declaring that way, right? Similarly, in your table also we have the field name is there, field name, and you see this data type is character, its length is 18. Okay, so this data type character length 18, this combination is given a name. Character 18 is given a name. That name is matner. Okay, if you mention your field as type matner, it means it is referring to char 18. I'll tell you again. For example, I have my structure like this. Data begin of, I'll say ty. Okay, I'm talking about the Mara table, right? So I will say this as st underscore Mara. Let us suppose. Okay, I'll say end of st underscore Mara. Okay, so now I'm telling you, I'm comparing both examples. Let us suppose, what is the first field here? Matner. Matner is the field name, which is nothing but material number. So guys, look here. Material number. It has a short description also. Material number is a field name. So I will say material number. Okay. I'll say this as mat underscore number. Let us suppose. I'll say type. How much is the length here? What is the data type? Char. Data type is char. And you see the length. What is the length here? Length is 18. So what you can do here? Here you can say, you'll say like, generally you'll say like this. Mat number of 18, type char. Okay. So now we are referring to the database tables concept. What you can do if you want to refer to any field, what generally we do, you see this Mara table is there, right? Now what is the field name here? Field name is matner. I say matner. Okay. Then I'll say type. Now I don't say length 18, char, I don't say all those things. You see something called data elements. There is something called data element. I will refer to the data element. Now what is the data element for the matner? matnr. Sometimes remember the field names and the data element names will be going to be same. So sometimes they will be same, sometimes they will not be same. Just make a note of this point. So matner, data element is what? Matner. So I will say matner type matner. That's it. I don't require this anymore. Just observe here. Okay. This type matner, this matner belongs to this one. This matnr is there, right? It is up to you whether you will say it as material number, mat underscore number, or you say it as material. It's up to you. I will say mat number like this. It's up to this part is optional, guys. This part is optional. Your field name part is optional, but the only one thing is what your data type should be always similar. Okay, so you'll take care of these things when you are working with respect to the program. Okay, so we'll come to know these details, but I just want to show you how you are going to use your data elements. Okay, so now come. So this is an example of the table, and these are the fields. You can see here the fields. How many fields are there? 294 fields are there. And as we have seen in this hard internal table and hash internal table, there is a unique key. Okay, likewise, we have a unique key here. You can see a key. You can see here this is a key field. Matner is a key field. It means it will not allow duplicate. And guys, also you see this is MANDT. My MANDT means a client. Client means observe here. When you click on this top here, 810 is here, right? When you click on this top 810, you see what is the system? NSP 810. What is the client here? 810 is the client name. It means when I display the data of this table, it will show in this field as 810. So now what I will do, in this table, you can see a contents button. You can see a contents icon is there. Click on the contents icon. Click on the contents icon. Once you click on the contents icon, you will see this is your screen. This is like your report, guys. Your SAP ABAP report program. You will like I explained you about the parameters, right? This is also similar to that parameters. Okay, you can see your material number. Material number is there, from is there, to is there. So we call this as select options. I will explain you that. I still have to explain you the topic when we come towards the reporting concept again, selection screen, etc. I will start with the select options of this. Until then, just to try to understand this. You see, if you click on the number of entries, you'll find how many number of entries those are available in this particular table. Okay, in this client, 810 client. And observe here, I click on this execute button. You see, by default, there are 200 records. I click on execute button. You'll be able to see how many number of entries are there. Data browser, table Mara, select entries 200. You see 200 entries are there here. Total from top to bottom, 200 entries are there here. Up to here it is the 200 entries only. And you see this, if you see this, I was telling the same thing. The client field. What is the client field? The client field is CLNT. What is the value of this? 810 is the value of this. You can see here, right? This is also our client name 810 and this is also our client name 810. So both are same. Let us suppose if you log into different clients. In the different client also you will see that different client number. For example, if I am logging into 820, I will say 820 over here. That is what the main use of this SciMANDT field is. Okay, so these are all the 200 records. And if you scroll to the right side like this, you will see all 180 columns. Okay, you will see how many columns? Almost 180 columns. So you will see when you scroll at the bottom. You can see you can scroll at the bottom. Okay. And these are your key fields. So if you observe here, these key fields are in blue color. If the fields are key fields, they will be having a color. If the fields are non-key fields, if you observe here, these are all the non-key fields. They always look different. But the key fields will look again different. And if you want to see this data, just select this and click on this display symbol. You'll be able to see the data, the client, material number. You scroll down and you can see what is the field you want. You can see all those details. We'll go in depth all these things later. But now for time being, just to try to understand that SC11 is the transaction code and Mara is the table. And we are referring to Mara always. Okay, and observe here, Mara table has 18 characters in length. It means this field will take data of 18 characters length. Okay, now come back to our ABAP program. So what I did in this program, in this fetch database table data, I declared my internal table. Observe here. I declared data LT Mara type table of Mara. It means I am referring to the which table? I am referring to this table, to the database table. So that is how I say LT Mara type table of Mara. It means what happens? LT Mara, how many fields are there? 294 fields are there. LT Mara will get 294 fields by default. LT Mara will get 294 fields by default. Next, work area Mara. It means this will hold how many records? This will hold only single record. This will hold only single record. And what is the type of this? Mara is the type of it. Very simple. Okay. So, same example. Same thing. What we did earlier in our earlier examples, I'll show you that as well for your just understanding. What we did in the previous examples, if I go to this sorted internal table, just try to observe. Just see the declarations, what we did here. We declared begin of a TY tab, item type carton, quantity type I, price type I. We declared this structure, but we are not declaring that structure anymore. We are directly referring to the Mara table. If you observe here, we are directly referring to the Mara table. And you see this data, internal table, type, sorted table of what we did, TY underscore tab. The same thing what I'm doing here. I have already Mara table in the database, and that Mara table I want to use. I am just saying LT Mara type table of Mara. Very simple. There is no more this kind of addition in our program here. We are referring to the standard only. So in your real time, you will come to know when to use the direct structure or when not to use the direct structure. Okay, we'll come to know that point as well. I'll explain you when to use and when not to use. Next, we said what we said here, work area tab, W tab, type TY tab, type TY tab. In my case, I'm referring to my database table. I'll say work area type my database table. Very simple. Okay, because my internal table is referring to Mara, my work area also should refer to the Mara. Simple. Internal table is referring to Mara, and work area also should refer to the Mara. The structure should be same, right? If it has 294 fields, my work area also should have 294 fields. Very simple. So this is how we will refer to the standard database tables in our ABAP program. Okay. So next, what I'm trying to do, I declared a local variable called Matner. I'm saying type Mara Matner. It means what? In the Mara table, refer to the field called Matner. Refer to the field called Matner. So it will refer to the Matner field, and I'm giving some value. As I said already, this is like some 18 characters. I gave this is actually the data. This is actual data, and before that we have given the zeros. It means the total length will be like 18 characters. Okay. So now, from which material to which material you want? I want from 11 into 21. So this is the range of the materials that we will see this. When we have to use this range, I will tell you. Now, next, coming to the next part, select a single star from Mara into work area underscore Mara. As I told you, select a single. Single means what? Only one record will come and sit into the table. So which record will come? Which record is the first record? That record will come and sit into the table called Mara. Okay. So here table means this is nothing but our work area. Only single record will come and sit into the work area. So whatever the record we fetched, I'm printing that in the output. Okay. I'm taking only some fields like Matner, ERSDA, ERNAM, MTART means material type, and industry sector. Okay. So this is how we basically define the internal table. I say defining the internal table with respect to the database table. I will write a comment over here just for your convenience. Declare internal table with reference to database table. Okay. I am declaring the internal table with reference to the internal table, which is with reference to the database table, which is what? Mara. Okay. So this is the definition. And how do you write this query? I say select single star. Star means take all the fields. How many fields are there? Some 194 fields are there. 194 fields will come and sit into the table called it will come from the table called Mara and sit into your work area called W underscore Mara. Once that is done, we're trying to fetch the data here in the output. Okay. So what I will do in this case, I'll just try to execute this, and you see this fetched single record, single row from database table. So this is the very first record that is fetched from the database table, which is Mara. Okay. So there are even other fields also. 194 fields are there. If you want to print all the 194 fields, you have to keep on writing like this. All the description you need to write, and you will publish that output. You will publish the output, and it has only the data. Okay. And here we are printing only the limited fields. If you want to print other fields also, you can print it, but it is not required for our understanding. So we have taken only some 5 or 6 fields for printing it in the output. Okay. So this is how it then let us see how it works. I'll put a breakpoint over here. Then click on execute button. Click on execute button, and let us see. You see this Mara, W Mara, and we will see LT Mara. Just try to see this. W Mara, if you double click on this, it will refer to the standard standard structure. It will refer to the standard structure, which is a Mara. In Mara, if it has 100 fields, the structure also will refer to the 100 fields. Okay. So next, so that's about WA Mara. Next, coming to the next point, when I say select single star, let us say F5. Now again go to the WMR. Yes, see, you have executed the select query, and one record has come and sit into your WMR. One record has come and sit into the WMR structure. So the same structure we are trying to print it in the output. You see this? Okay, you will be able to print that in the output. So your record is filled with data. Double click on this. You see this WMR. Okay, so you'll be able to see the data in the output. And what are the fields we are printing? We are printing MATNR, ERSDA, ERNAM, MTRT, and MBRCs. These are only the 5 fields we are trying to print in the output from the structure called WA Mara. If you see this structure WA Mara, you will find, you can see here, right? You can find a lot of data. You'll find lot of data. Okay, you'll find lot of data corresponding to the fields. Okay, so if you want to print all the data, you can print it, and if you want only some limited data to print in the output, you can print it. It's up to you. So that is how select single. Now next thing, this is a select single, and which record we got in the output for the material? For the material, I execute it. Material number is a P test. Material number is P test. The very first material from the table is a P test. The P test got printed in the output. Now let us suppose in my select query, I am giving a where condition. I am specifying the material number. Specifying the material number. Okay. So when we specify the material number, if a record exists in the database table with the same material number, okay, then you'll be able to see the data in the output. You'll be able to see the data in the output. So now if you observe here, we have taken LV Matner as this. Now in the where condition, if you want to give the material number, you can give it, or if you want to give any variable like this, and in this variable you already assigned LV Matner, you already assigned the value, it will refer to this LV Matner, it will refer to this. Okay, even that also you can give it. I changed it to LV Matner. Yes, execute it. Okay, let us see here. Executes. So observe what is the value of LV Matner. Okay, you can see here on the right side the value of this 101,000,20, and I press F5, and now you see the work area underscore Mara, and now you see the work area underscore Mara. You can see the data populated over here. You can see the data populated here, and you can see the data for the different fields over here. You can see the data for the different fields. So this is how in one way we can fetch the data using the where condition. Okay, you will mention the in where condition you will mention it as matter equal LV matter. So other than this way, other than the material number field, you have many fields available in this table. Like you are now focusing only on the matter. In the where condition, you can write where some VPSTA equal to this value, or where MTART equal to some ZROH, etc. MBRSH equal to B. Likewise, you can mention any field in the respective condition. Okay, that's up to you, and that is up to your requirement. Okay, so we have seen select query with two things. One is a normal select query with a single without any where condition. Now the next one is a select query with the where condition. Now let us see how do we fetch multiple records from the Mara table. How do we fetch multiple records from Mara table and put into the internal table? That is what we will see in the next. You can see here, fetching the multiple records from the database table Mara. You see, select star from, when you say star, it means all the fields of that table. Select star from Mara into table LT underscore Mara. Why LT underscore Mara? If you double click on this, LT Mara is referring to the table called Mara. Okay, Mara is a standard table. LT Mara also will become similar to the standard table, but standard table data is permanent. Internal table data is temporary. Until the existence of that program in the memory, that data will exist. After that, there is no data that will be existing in the internal table. It will wipe off. Okay, so I'm saying select a star from Mara source table into table target table. Okay, how many records you want? For time being, I'm taking up to 10 rows. I'm taking up to 10 rows. So once you get the data into the LT underscore Mara internal table, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to print the data corresponding to material number, created on, created by, material type, industry sector. These things, I'll try to print the data of only these three, only these fields. Material number, created on, created by, material type, and industry sector. So how do I print the data in the output? Yes, we use the same concept of loop. We used this in our previous session. Like if there are any multiple records in the internal table, what we will do? We will loop on the internal table. You take one work area into your work area field, then print the data in the output. And clear the work area. Again, the next iteration, next loop repeats. So likewise, you will loop on every record of that internal table and you will print the data in the output. And you will print the data in the output. So this is how we retrieve the data from the internal table. Okay, so for your understanding, I'll put a breakpoint over here. Now click on the execute button. Click on the execute button. So first I will click. I'll look into the LT Mara. See how many records are there? 0 records are there. Okay, there are 0 records. Now press F5. You can see immediately 10 records because we are saying up to 10 rows. Now double click on this. You see this structure is there, right? This structure is same like your Mara table. This structure is same like your Mara table. And if you want to see the data in more efficient way, what do you need to do? So there is a table display in ALV. There is an option called table display in ALV. Click this. You see this? This is how the data looks like in your ALV report. This is also a report called ALV report, but we call it as a ALV report. You can see the data also in this format. You can see this. Okay, you can see all these values of the respective fields. Okay, so from here again, go back. I'm going to desktop one. So let's continue in this. So now I have 10 records into my internal table. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to print them in the output. Okay, see here in the work area underscore Mara. Work area underscore Mara. Just look at it. There are no records in this. Now I press F5 over here. Immediately go back to work area Mara and see. You see that records are filled with the data. Records are filled with data. So likewise, you will print the data and show that in the output. This is for multiple rows from the database table. Is it clear? So it should be fine. So we are fetching the multiple records from the database table. And likewise, it depends upon your requirement, whether you want to fetch more data or less data, it depends upon you. And same thing, this is we are fetching the 10 records, right? So same thing, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to print the I'm trying to get the data from the Mara table into my internal table basing upon some condition here. If you see this condition, so where Matner between Matner from and Matner to, Matner from and Matner to. It means you are giving the range of materials. I want the range of these materials in between this material to that material. I want the list of available materials in between this condition. In between this condition, I want the data from the Mara table. Okay, so that is the reason why I'm saying select star from Mara into table, my internal table, where Matner between Matner from and Matner to. Okay, let's try to see what is the Matner from and Matner to value. We have declared this here. You see, LV Matner from, LV Matner to. We gave the value of LV Matner from as 11, LV Matner to as 21. The same thing I am using in my fetch multiple records from the database table. LV Matner from and LV Matner to. Let us see how it goes. Now execute your. Let us see in the debugging mode how it looks like. Okay, you see this LV from, double click on this. This is LV2, right? LV from and again LV2, which is 11 and 21. Now just press F5. You see, fetch the multiple rows from database table using the condition. That's fine. Now press F5. You're looping on the internal table and printing the data in the output. Okay, so that's what you are doing as a after you extract the data from the database table. With the data is within the range of from and to. The same thing you are printing it in the output. You can see here the same thing for the multiple records you are printing that in the output. Okay, so this is one example. This is one example of fetching the data from the database table. I have taken a example of select a single star with where condition, select a single star without where condition, and fetching the records from the database table up to some 10 rows, and fetching the records from the database table within the range from and to range. Okay, so now let us suppose if you observe this Mara table, guys, and one more thing, the flexibility in ABAP program is when you refer to anything over here, for example, Mara I referred, I can double click on this, it will take you to the Mara table. Okay, if that object exists, if it exists, it will take to the Mara table. I mean, not only Mara table, anything, I mean, if it is navigatable, then it will go to that part. So now coming to next part, in this program, let us suppose how many records are there in my in my Mara table. 294 records are there in my Mara table. 294 records. Let us suppose I am no way required with these 294 records. I don't want these 294 records. I want only some fields. I want some 10 or some 12 or 13 fields. That's it. I don't want other fields. Okay. So in that case, how do you define your structure and how do you define your internal table? Because you will no longer refer to the Mara table. So in that case, what I will do, I will say types begin of ty underscore Mara. I will say Matner. You can see here Matner type. What is the type here? This is the data type. Okay. Type. You can see here. Either you can refer to the table hyphen field. It means the table name hyphen field name. You can refer that way. Or what you can do, directly you can refer to the, in the Mara table, what is the data element? This one. This is the data element. You can directly refer Matner. You can directly refer Matner. You can say like this, Matner. Okay. You can comment this line if you require. See, there are, I'm telling you the possibilities. Either you can declare this way or you can declare this way. It's up to you. So what is this one? This will tell you the table name hyphen the field name of the table. Hyphen the field name of the table. Table name hyphen field name of the table. Same thing. If that is the one you want to use, you can use it, or you can directly refer to the data element. It's up to you. Okay. It's up to you. Whether you want to refer to the table name hyphen field name or a data element, it's up to you. Okay. So I explained you both possibilities. You can follow either of that. But I would suggest always to follow this. To follow this, you will not have any kind of confusion. Okay. Now, so I declared one structure. I have named it as ty underscore Mara. Now I said data, my internal table name, type table of ty underscore Mara. This will become my internal table. And I am saying work area, type ty underscore Mara. Okay. So your Mara table structure, with the help of that, you are declaring your work area. And with the help of this ty Mara, you are declaring your internal table. So both are referring to the same structure. The only one difference is this will hold a single Mara record. This will hold multiple Mara records. Very simple. Okay, now my declaration is done. What next? So the next thing, when you want to fetch the data, so let me comment all these things, guys, to avoid the confusion. Just I'm just commenting all these things, not required for us. Okay, now if you observe here, if you want to fetch the data, then what you will do? I will say material number, select single, Matner, MTART, MBRSH, MATKL, MEINS. Okay, you need to follow the same sequence, guys. Don't reorder or disorder or don't go for jumping order. The way how the fields are declared, the same way in your select query, you need to fetch the data. You need to fetch the data. And also see, these fields are in order. It means, for example, first one is Matner. See, Matner. Next one, MTRT. What is the next one here? Just scroll down. You see, MTRT. Next, MBRSH. Next, you see, MBRSH. MATKL. See, MATKL. MEINS. Just, you see, MEINS. It means, see, all the fields, so far what I told you now are in order. The same order you need to follow. You cannot say first MTART here and put MATNR here. Of course, if the data types are characters, you will not have any problem. But the problem only one thing is this MTRT data will come and sit into the MATNR field. That's it. Very simple. If you reorder, for example, I am using in place of MATNR, I will say here like this. I will try to say like this. MTART, MATNR. What happens? What happens when you are fetching the data? then what happens? The data will not go into the respective fields. That will be the issue. Okay, so that is the reason why you need to follow the sequence. Sequence is very, very important while you work on the select queries. Okay, so now in this context, what we did learn? We did learn selecting a single record from Mara into my work area where matner equal to this LV underscore matner. That's it, very simple. Okay, so what is my LV matner value? 10020 is my LV matner value. That record will come and sit into your work area, and that you will print it in the output. Okay, let's try to print that in the output and see how it looks like. Okay, so here select single. I'm putting a breakpoint over here. Now click on execute button. This and observe here. What is your LV matner? 20 is the material number. Now press F5. Okay, and you can see matner, MTRT, MBRSH, MATKL, MEINS separately. Just execute. You'll be able to see the data in the output. Okay, same thing. This is select single, right? Let us suppose if you want to fetch multiple records of the same table for fetching the multiple records, what you will do? Same select query. You will write the same select query, but in place of into, you will say into table, internal table. You will say where condition. Just observe here. Select these fields from Mara into table, your database table name. Database table is this. Your internal table is this. So source table is this, third table is this. And what is the condition here? The condition is where the matner is between this from material and to material. That's it, very simple. Okay, the data will come and sit into your internal table. And what you are trying to do, you are looping an internal table into work area and you are printing the data in the output. Very simple. Okay, so let me activate this program and let us try to execute this and see. This see now. Okay, so these are the number of records that we have fetched. You can see, double click on this LT Mara. Okay, so these are the records. Let's expand this. You'll see the material number, MTRT, MBRSH, MATKL, MEINS. These are the fields, right? So we are fetching that in the from the select query, putting it in the internal table, and we are printing them in the output. So this is how this one looks like. Okay, material number, material type, industry sector, material group, and the base unit of machine. These are the fields that you will be seeing in the output. So from using select single, you can fetch the data using the select with respect to that fields. Only the corresponding fields or only some limited fields data also you can print. You can select and put that into the internal table. Okay. The same thing, what you can do. So whatever that I explained now, you can also design a selection screen. You can also design a selection screen, and using that selection screen design, you can view the data. You can see single input. You can give a single material number. If you want a range of material numbers, you can give a range of material numbers also. For single input means, for single record means, single material number means, we will use parameters p underscore matner type Mara matner. We will use this. Okay, so this will give you only the single record. What if you have to use Okay, what if you have to use multiple? It means, what do you mean to say? I mean to say, we used here from and to. This from and to, no need for us to specify here explicitly. So this from and to functionality can be achieved by a concept in the selection screen called as select options. We have something called like parameters. We have a concept called select options. These select options, I give the name as s underscore matter. For you need to say here compulsorily the table name hyphen the field name. You have to tell this. You have to refer this in the select options. The syntax looks like this. Your select option object for what it is a select option, for what this s underscore matter is a range. This is a range for Mara Matner. So when you're referring to Mara Matner, observe here, you declare something called as tables. Tables Mara. You have to declare it. If you don't declare it, let us suppose you try to activate it, it will throw you an error. You see this? It will point to that. You see, the field Mara is unknown, but there are following fields with similar names, LT Mara and W Mara. Field Mara is unknown. What is it referring to? See, it is referring to this one only. Okay, so you should make use of the table in this context. You have select options. Now let us suppose we can use select options values also. So what I will do, I will take this from value. I will take this from value. Okay, I will take it from value. Let me open this. If it is a single record, we'll print this. If it is multiple records, we'll print this. Very simple. Observe here. If you are fetching a single record, if your p underscore Matner is not initial. Okay, observe here. We are learning a new thing again. P underscore Matner is not initial. It means if P underscore Matner is not initial, is nothing but not empty. Not empty. We are checking the condition whether it is empty or not. When it is not empty only, I want to fetch the data. If it is empty, why do I need to fetch the data? No need to fetch the data. Okay. So that is the reason why I am saying it as not initial. I repeat again. Your variable name or your parameter is not initial. So now, if this is filled with the data, then as usual, like where Matner equal to P underscore Matner, the same select query with the where condition, you are printing that in the output. That's it. The same thing, if you have S underscore Matner, it means select options is filled. Then the select query style also will change. If you see here, if you are filling the select options, you will fetch the data from your table into your internal table where Matner. You see this. This is a new thing. When you are using select options, this syntax come into picture. Where Matner, you will say in Matner in S underscore Matner, because select options will act like a internal table. We'll learn more about that later. Okay, just for time being, try to understand that it will be like an internal table. A select option will be like a internal table. It can hold multiple records. Okay, so this is done. Then if this is true, it means you are extracting the data, and if the data exists, then I'm saying explicitly, look here, sort my internal table name ascending by material number. This is like a sorting. This is the sorting. So we also sort the data in this way. Which are the fields you want, you can view the field name and you can try it. Okay, for sorting. If you want to see, this is the key field. That is the reason why we are taking it as key field. If you want some other fields, you can take some other fields also. Also, you can take combination, Matner, again field. You can take one more field. Again, you can take one more field. So likewise, you can take any number of fields. Okay, it's up to you. But in our example, I have taken only Matner. Okay, so we are sorting the data and we are printing the data in the output. Finally, that's it. Very simple. And let us see this part. This P underscore Matner part. I execute this. I am providing this data here. Okay. Either you can copy and paste it over here if you have the data, or else if you see this, there is a square box here. On that field, you will find a square box. Click on this. We call it as a F4 search help. We call it as F4 search help. We will learn more about this search help. F4 search help. We will learn more about it. Okay. For time being, just see what happens. Click on this F4 search help. Okay. You can see here one more pop-up coming like this. Click on start search. When you click on start search, the complete data, I mean, almost it will show you 500 entries. The data whichever is available in the table, it will be showing in the here now. Whichever the material you want, you can select it. I will select this one. Double click on it. I want 1015. Click on execute. It goes to the debugging mode. Observe here. This is the right spot. You see p underscore matner, the parameter it has the value. Not initial means not empty. Now it is when it is not empty, it enters into this section. It will fill the, it will execute this. What is that? It will execute the select query, and then comes out. That's it. Simple. Execute it. The last one, this one you will see it as the output. This is the very first record, one record. Okay. Now if you try to give, I am not giving this. I am trying to give this. Okay, 1015 to 1020. Let us suppose this is the range I am trying to give. Now click on execute. Okay, look here. This is for parameters. This is our select options. S underscore matner. Double click on this. You see, this will be acting like internal table. Double click on this. This has the fields like sign, option, low, high. Sign means include or exclude. Whether you want to include the record or exclude the record. So you can mention it. Option means here we are considering between from range to range. It means within that range, which is nothing but between, we call it as BT. We have even some other things also, we'll learn them later. This is the low value and this is the high value. Okay, so within 1015, 1020, you will get the data. Very simple. Press F5 and go to LT Mara. Okay, 1015 and 1020, there are only two records, which is 1015, 1016. That is the only data that you are seeing it in the output. Just press F8. You can see here 1015, 1016 is the only data fetched in the output. Okay, so this is about the complete class is about referring to the standard database table and declaring the internal table corresponding to the database table and declaring a structure. How do you write a select statement into work area and with condition and without condition? Okay, and fetching the multiple records putting into the internal table and fetching the records from the fetching the only the specific fields of that table into your internal table. Okay, and your parameters concept, selection screen parameter concept, and select options concept. In the select options also, you can have multiple, I mean, we can also, using select options, we can have the range of materials. Okay, range of materials, that means from material to material. To material number. Okay, so these things are more important in this concept. Okay, so yeah, so for today, I think this is for today this is enough, because you need to practice more on the select queries. I have given you select single, select star, I mean the other ways also.